Like, it's worse than kindergarten talking crap. It's really embarrassing.
It is.
And I can't even see that they can even spew this out of their mouth without any level of thinking that it's intelligent what they're saying. I mean, really, it's idiotic. Really is.
Think
it's
about
beyond
this.
the pale.
I literally, like, without meeting you and just seeing your heart through your vocabulary online and watching how you post, and we're really walking a tight line of being professionals and also defending our nation, because we are fathers, we are mothers, we are sons, we are daughters. We don't want to dishonor, like, our God and or our families.
Amen.
But we have to defend them. And so I watched you walk this really beautiful line. And you know what? You're a black man. I'm a white man. I didn't see that at all. I didn't even see that color. At all. I saw your heart. That's
Amen.
what people see is the heart. Kids, I just think it's so funny. When I just found out this year that I was born racist, I didn't realize I was. They're telling me now that, because I'm white, I'm born racist. Or I was like, oh, okay, well, I didn't know that. The other part was, the word racism. What a really gross word to use anyways, because racism is about superiority, right? So Hitler, white Hitler, I'm Jewish by blood, was racist against a race. They felt superior to a race. That's way different. Racism is way, way deeper than not agreeing or not having the same views or not even having the same customs. It's really okay. I live in Texas, man. We like to barbecue and we like to hang out in our front yards and we like to go hunting. But, if I went to a state that, that was just a little different. I don't know, the North, I don't know what is different. I don't know. Seattle. Yeah, so let's see. I don't know. Let's just go to Seattle. Maybe they like to, I don't know. I don't even want to say, but hike. Yeah, go hiking.
I don't know if Seattle's a good city to use.
Yeah, I don't see, I'm not superior to them. I just probably won't hang out with them as much, no matter what they are, because they don't want to do the things I do. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's just called people. I have family members that are different than me, and we don't talk on the phone as much as family members that are more like me. It's just comfort. So for them to say that we're racist all of a sudden because it works, it ain't gonna happen. And I ain't gonna teach my kids that. I'm not gonna allow my kids to feel that way. I don't fear it. My identity is secure. God created me beautifully.
Amen.
He created my wife.
That's where I was
beautifully.
going.
That's it,
where
man.
I was going, Jarrod.
And your children, beautiful.
Exactly. Like when people talk about that the government wants to play their daddy, the government owes you. Nobody owes you anything. You have to be thankful that God has given you life. What are you going to be as a human being to give back to this universe that God gives you life? I have to revert back to John F. Kennedy, probably one of the last conservative Democrats. Don't ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. It's the same philosophy. Don't ask what somebody can do for you. What can you do for somebody else? Be accountable for your own actions. Be accountable for your own actions. You determine your altitude. Nobody controls what Chauncey does, my success or failures. My success and failures in life is as a result of Chauncey's poor decisions or good decisions. Not because I'm black or because I'm of the Jewish faith or because I'm conservative. That's nonsense. And, I watched the NFL football game last week. the Super Bowl or the week before, and I saw a commercial that pissed me off. It was a young black kid playing victim in the commercial talking about that he is making less money than a white kid. I'm saying to myself, why aren't you challenging yourself instead of worrying about somebody else's color? And this is on NFL television, on a commercial. These people are sick. And it undermines Dr. Martin Luther King's message of that I pray that one day my children will be judged by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. And what does this idiot President Joe Biden do? I want to nominate the first black woman to the highest court in the land. Right there, you undermine the 1964 Civil Rights Act. You're alienating all men and all non-women, all women of non-color. That's being racist, discriminatory. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. But that's okay.
It's discrimination.
That's okay.
By definition.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and that's okay. You know, and Joe Biden comes up with these false BS things to coddle black people, and these simple-ass minded people buy this shit. And that pisses me off. It
really is a machine. Because like I said, you know, a couple of years ago, I was just living life, right? I wasn't thinking about all of the stuff that's been, you know, really uncovered, really by President Trump. I mean, he uncovered a lot of this. And I was the silent majority, right? Like I said, I was good. I'll pay my taxes. Those taxes can go to whatever you want. I trust you. You know, be responsible. The other thing is, you know, you forget these politicians. They're not entitled to anything.
They're not public servants. Yeah. They think that they're elitist.
Public servants. Yes.
They're not.
And so I'm thinking they're serving us. Yes.
No, they're serving themselves.
Oh yeah, absolutely. How do you become multimillionaires with a $250,000 a year salary? I mean, but you know, and so you know, I'm watching this happen, and all of a sudden, this big veil, you know, was pulled off my eyes, and I'm looking around, and this is just one. This ain't conspiracy. It can't. Conspiracies don't come true. Like all this stuff just coming true. It's like in our face. It's so in our face that we're actually, I think, a little spun. Like kind of if you get one to the chin, you're not quite knocked out, but you're spinning a little bit. So that's why we're doing this podcast, because we're going to quit the spin. We're going to quit the spin. What you all are seeing is a bunch of smoke and mirrors. You've got young men and women who are relying on politicians to keep them out of work, and you've got young men and women who are relying on politicians to pay for their college funds, and you've got a continuous spiral that needs, like, we need to throw, like, you know, a wedge into the spokes. Or into the, you know, into the gears, because we're awake. We are resetting. We're going to reset.
Amen.
Amen, dude.
For those that are tuning in, you're listening to American First Patriot Podcast with my co-host, veteran and patriot, Jarrod Tomassi. I'm your host, Chauncey Brown, where we have a platform that is defending freedom and liberty. It's unfiltered, uncensored. We talk about real issues, real people, and this is a Real Talk Patriot show, and I'm blessed to have Jarrod, a veteran patriot, in the studio co-hosting the show with me, talking about the different things that are transpiring in our nation today. You know, Jarrod, how do you think, because you're a veteran and because it's the highlight right now, how do you think that this Russia-Ukraine crisis might unfold? It looks like, you know, of course, Russia's posturing. Russia's going to invade. It's you know, it's only a matter of time. I mean, he's just posturing in his words. We're pulling back, and it's going back and forth. But there's an aggression stance still going on. Militarily, you think he's going to invade?
I think he's going to do what he did to. I mean, again, I'm no freaking general. I don't know ins and outs. He's going to do what he did to Crimea. He's on the line. He's going to absorb a piece of that border. I don't know how far in. Basically, those folks on the border are somewhat neutral, right? Some of them are proud Russians, and some of them are proud Ukrainians. And you know, because it's the border, a line was drawn at one point, and folks on either side of the line didn't want to be there. So there's certain folks that want to go back to Russia, and there's certain folks that never want to go back to Russia. And they're going to do that. They're going to absorb a piece of it, and just like they did Crimea, just like they did with the last Democrat presidents. He's going to absorb it like he did Crimea, and then when we get Trump back in, no one's going to do anything for 4 more years. And then hopefully we keep the red wave going, and we won't have any wars for, you know, a good 12 years, at least fake wars. And then, you know, so just vote with your heart. Vote, you know, sadly, you have to vote conservative, even if you're not conservative, because they really they stayed center. Conservatives, what do they want? New than they ever wanted. First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third Amendment, Fourth Amendment. I mean, it would just, how about we just want the Constitution to not be like broken? That's all we ever want.
That's really the long and the short.
Yeah, it's not that deep.
You're right.
It really isn't that deep. Yeah, we're defending the law of our land. That's not extreme. That's not extreme at all. That's just
not at
normal.
All.
Yeah.
Jarrod, we have a caller in queue. Let's see if they want to chime in. Okay, hold on one second. Caller, would you like to chime into the conversation? I guess not. Okay, I guess that caller doesn't want to chime into the conversation. Go ahead, Jarrod. That's somebody with a Texas number that's listening to the show. Oh, they just hung up on us.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. It was yeah. So yeah, I think that's just what's going on. Is they're going to absorb some stuff, and then we're going to go, oh no, but you know, man, it really is adding up, right? I mean, so Afghanistan debacle, weird election anomalies, whatever, crime, systemic racism all of a sudden.
CRT. Now,
CRT.
White people are bad or the oppressor, and blacks are victims. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and what else, dude? Oh, the border. Doctors not being able to prescribe medicine, fentanyl, pedophilia.
You know the most ironic thing, Jarrod.
Oh my goodness.
You know the most ironic. The most ironic thing is Joe Biden will try to, which the Supreme Court had knocked down, mandate businesses, mandate this. Why don't you mandate illegal immigrants? No one's asked that question. Why aren't you making sure the border's secure? Why aren't you testing all of those for COVID, for measles, for whatever kind of diseases they might be carrying? But we have an open border. We have an open border where, so now illegals have more rights than Americans. And I don't care what side of the political, and I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on, right? It shouldn't matter. Americans are Americans, and for people to lie down and accept this, that it's okay, wait until it comes into your house. Then it's going to be too late. Mm-hmm. But like you said, we're conspiracy theorists. We're over the top patriots. We care about our country. Listen, the same thing happened in communist China. and Hitler. They started with controlling the media, people. Then they went into the educational system. That's how Marxism and communism and socialism